Good morning. Thank you for joining me for my daily Come Follow Me study of the Old Testament. Today is Monday the 16th. We are in the last half of February. It's like, oh, it takes so long to get to blah, blah, blah. Or time just doesn't go fast enough with blah, blah, blah. It's flying by. Okay. Before we start on the thing, they did sustain me and set me apart yesterday as Relief Society president. Yes. I am now the manager of two things. And I didn't know this, but the Relief Society president is basically in charge of everything. Oh my goodness. After church, after I was set apart, the bishop gives me the blessing and sets me apart. And then he goes, okay, get to work. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But then the old Relief Society president, she's like, when would you like to get together so we can talk about some stuff? I was like, as soon as possible, because I have no clue what I'm doing. So then we met right after that, and we talked for an hour. It took an hour for her to line me out on all the stuff that's coming up and my responsibilities and my duties. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I was just like, okay, well, let's talk about this. And then she's like talking. I was like, wait, where's a piece of paper? Notes and notes and notes and notes. And she had given me some paper as well. And I'm just like, okay, here we go. And both of my counselors are out of town. One's in Florida and one's in Europe. And then my secretary, she's also going to be in St. George. And so my first couple of weeks, I'm going to be alone. So just my entire rest of the day yesterday was just sending and answering text messages. No lie. Sending and responding to text messages. And as we were coming out of the hour-long meeting where we were talking about all the stuff that's coming up and all the things I need to know about the ward and that sort of thing, we ran into the Relief Society president of the other ward who meets in the building, and she's like, oh, wonderful, we need to get together and we need to do this. I was like, it's hour 2. I've only been in here for an hour. I'm in hour 2. She's like, we got to get together and we got to talk about this, and this. And I'm like, listen, lady, I need a day at least. Oh my goodness. And then I came home and I just sat there staring off into space, thinking about all the things that now I have to do. And anyways, so yeah, I am the Relief Society president. What am I gonna do? Okay. Well, it's a good thing I got dumped because I'm not gonna have any time to date for the next 3 years. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Who wants to date anyway? Men are awful. We don't need to. All right, let's start with the daily reflection. It is the 16th. When Moses held up his hand, Israel prevailed, and when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands. Exodus 17:11-12. In our dispensation, sometimes the president of the church has been a man advanced in years. At times it has been difficult for him to do all he would have liked to do, to travel or to counsel and warn the saints and the people of the world from his unique perspective. Thus he has needed special helpers, counselors, men of like faith and spiritual aptitude, men filled with the spirit of prophecy and revelation, who hold up his weary arms and sustain him before the people. The council came to Frederick G. Williams, a member of the first presidency. Wherefore be faithful, stand in the office which I have appointed unto you, succor the weak, lift up the hands which hang down, and strengthen the feeble knees. Like Aaron and Hur, counselors in the first presidency, assist the president to lead the people of God to victory. Victory. All right. So today is Genesis chapter 12 and chapter 13, verses 1 through 16. So we're going to be splitting up some chapters here and there, but it's all good. And this week, because it's a little, I read the chapter beforehand. So in chapter 12, God tells Abram, he's not Abraham yet, he's Abram, tells him to leave his family and he'll take him to a choice land where his family will be numbered as the sands of the sea, right? Abrahamic covenant. And so he goes to the land of Canaan. Lot, his nephew, goes with him. There's a drought in the land, and so they go to Egypt so they can survive. Abram says to his wife Sarai, whichever, "You're too beautiful. You are too beautiful to be my wife in Egypt. So what we're going to do is we're going to say you're my sister so they don't kill me and take you for themselves, okay?" Anyways, they go to Egypt. They do say she's beautiful. Pharaoh takes her for his wife, figures out that they're not brother and sister. They send Abram and Sarai on their way, say, "Get out of here. Go. Why'd you make me sin? That's weird. Don't do that." And they go. And then they go back to the land of Bethel. And Lot and Abram, they have so much stuff that they can't dwell in the same land, so they separate. They can't live together and work together. They got to separate because they got too much stuff. They're too wealthy. So that's where we end in chapter 13, verse 6, is that they've got too much stuff. They're too big. So that's kind of the gist of what's going on. In the supplemental, it has basically nothing. What are you talking about? Just a verse 8. Are you insane? Genesis chapter 12. Yeah. A covenant of righteousness. The Lord establishes with Abram and his posterity a covenant of righteousness with an eternal promise of grand earthly and heavenly blessings based on obedience and service. And then it skips to 13, but not the verses we read. So let's go over to Ludlow. Abrahamic covenant. They don't talk about the story with Pharaoh and Sarai, which, you kind of wish you had a little bit more. Here's one thing that I'm learning about Genesis, which we've studied it before, but it moves at it is a bullet train, right? The rest of the Old Testament kind of moves a little bit slowly. Exodus, right? Leviticus, it moves really slow. Genesis, we are on a freaking bullet train, right? We are just zooming straight through. Wish we had a little bit more, context to the stories here, but there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing here. I don't know what to tell you. That's just the way it is, folks. Okay. That was Abraham Genesis. That was Abraham Genesis. No, that was Genesis chapter 12 and chapter 13 verses 1 through 6. Tomorrow we do chapter 13 verse 7 through chapter 14 verse 4. Okay. This week's a little crazy, but we got it, peeps. We got it. Okay. This prayer is for sick and crippled children. O most loving Lord, you who know all things, know that nothing weighs more heavily on our hearts and minds than the suffering of sick or crippled children. If sinners can so grieve, O Lord, what can this grief be for you in the perfection of your love? As you bore our sins, so you bear our sorrows, and would receive our prayers into your heart, to become a part of your love that is forever working for us in ways we do not understand, but in ways that we trust and adore. Lord, strengthen, bless, and direct all our labor, all the prayer, and all the love that is poured out upon children who suffer, and grant that there may be no heart left that is unconcerned for them, and no mind unresolved to make of this sinful world a safer and happier home for them. Okay, that is all. That is all. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.